Hello everyone and welcome to today's tutorial on DevOps for beginners at Simplilearn. Back in the day when Netflix was just starting to hit its stride, they faced serious challenges managing their growing infrastructure. Keeping millions of people happy, streaming movies and shows without interruption, it was not an easy task. Initially, Netflix struggled with scaling issues, monolithic architecture problems, and deployment bottlenecks. Their infrastructure couldn't keep up with the increasing user demand, leading to frequent downtimes. The monolithic architectures made it difficult to update or scale parts of the system without affecting the whole. Deploying new features was slow and risky and often causing service disruptions. And that's when they discovered microservices, which allowed them to break the application into smaller and more manageable pieces. This meant that they could tweak and tinker with different parts of the service independently, and greatly improving flexibility and reliability. Complementing microservices with DevOps practices like continuous integration and deployment, Netflix transformed their operation, ensuring seamless streamings for users worldwide. So next time when you binge watch, remember this epic journey they took to get there. Now, before we move on and learn more about DevOps, I request you guys that do not forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon for further updates. So here's the agenda for our today's session. We are going to start our session with an introduction to what is DevOps. Then we will learn about why DevOps. Moving ahead, we will discuss principle of DevOps and phases of DevOps. Then we will deep dive into Devops Tools. And finally, we are going to conclude our session with a hands-on.
Craving a career upgrade? Subscribe, like, and comment below. Dive into the link in the description to fast-track your ambitions. Whether you're making a switch or aiming higher, Simplilearn has your back.
Before we move on, just a quick info guys. Simplilearn has got a professional certificate program in cloud computing and DevOps in partnership with ENICT Academy, IIT Guwahati. With this professional certificate program in the cloud computing and DevOps, you will learn Azure, AWS, DevOps, cloud infrastructure, and design. So you'll gain hands-on experience through the real-world projects and through the premium sandbox lab. So hurry up now and join the course link. The course link is mentioned in the description box. So guys, let's start with what is DevOps. Guys, DevOps is an innovative approach to software development and IT operations that emphasizes collaboration, automation, and continuous improvement. The goal is to bridge the gap between developers who write the code and operations who deploy and manage it, leading to faster, more efficient production cycles and deployments. So this was a basic definition of DevOps. Now, I hope so you have got a brief idea regarding this. Now let's move on and understand why DevOps. So guys, understanding its impact on traditional software development and shift to microservices, DevOps has become an essential methodology in modern software development, primarily addressing many of the inefficiencies found in traditional development and operation model. These traditional models often feature siloed structure where development and operation teams have distinct, separate roles and responsibilities. This separation can lead to various challenges like the slow production cycles. With development and operations working separately, the transition from code completion to deployment can be slow and cumbersome. There is a lack of integration between these teams and often result in longer release cycles. Next issue with the traditional setup was the deployment issues. When developers and operations work independently, there is a higher chance of encountering problems during deployment, such as configuration errors, environment discrepancies, and unexpected behavior in production. And also they had limited feedback loops. Like in the traditional setups, feedback from the operation teams regarding application performance, user issues, or system failures might not reach to developers quickly, and thus delaying the necessary fix and improvement. Now there was an introduction of microservices where we got enhanced scalability, increased development velocity, and flexibility when compared to traditional setups. Now let's look at a case study of a financial firm and how DevOps helped them. So guys, consider a financial firm who is struggling with the deployment cycles and poor feedback mechanism in their traditional development setup, leading to delayed product updates and frequent outages. So what's the solution? as we have discussed earlier, microservices. In DevOps culture, so as a solution, they implemented a DevOps culture fostering closer collaboration between developers and operation, and also establishing a continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline. By the adoption of microservices, they split their large cumbersome financial processing system into smaller and manageable microservices. And what's the outcome, guys? The continuous improvement. The CI/CD pipelines allowed for regular updates and minimal downtime. Each microservice could be updated independently and facilitating faster and safer deployments. There was enhanced feedback loops. So, monitoring tools specific to each microservice provided rapid feedback directly to the respective development teams, which allowed for quicker responses to the issues and more informed decision making. So, this was the overall benefits of applying a DevOps culture in a financial form. And they had two success outcomes. The first one was they adopted a DevOps culture, which helped them a faster delivery, and there was adoption of microservices, which helped their applications succeed and also improve the user experience. Now let's move on and try to understand that what are the principles of DevOps. So guys, the core principle of DevOps are laid as follows. Initially, DevOps is founded on several key principles that streamline and enhance the processes involved in software development and operations. The first one is automation. Second one is CI/CD. And the third one is rapid feedback. Now let's understand each one of them one by one. Now if I talk about automation, guys, so automation in DevOps covers everything from code deployment to environment setup and network configuration. For example, using a tool like Ansible, you can automate the deployment of application across hundreds of servers, eliminating manual setup and ensuring consistency across your infrastructure. Next one we have is continuous integration and continuous delivery. Let us first discuss about continuous integration. So here, developers merge their changes back to the main branch of the project as often as possible. These changes are validated by creating a build and running automated tests against them. For example, using Jenkins, a CI server which automatically tests the build wherever new commits are pushed to the main repository, ensuring that new code integrates well with the existing code base. Now, if I talk about the continuous delivery, guys, it extends a continuous integration by automatically preparing and tracking a release to the production. This ensures that you can release new changes to your customers quickly in a sustainable way. For example, Travis CI can be configured to deploy applications automatically to the production environments. Whenever the build stage in the CI process is successful, it is provided by all the tests that it has passed. Now let us discuss about the third one, that is rapid feedback. So guys, what does it involve? It involves implementing feedback mechanisms quickly and identifying and addressing issues in the development of production environments. For example, we have New Relic, which can be used to monitor applications in real time, providing immediate feedback to developers if performance degrades or an error occurs. So these were some of the basic principles of DevOps. I hope so. You got an idea regarding this. Now let's move on and discuss one of the most important points, that is phases of DevOps. So guys, if we discuss the phases of DevOps, understanding the life cycle in DevOps is crucial to grasp how it benefits the software development and operation process. And you should understand one thing, that DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is a practice that we apply in our software development. So the first one is plan. The planning phase involves defining the project scope, identifying resources, and scheduling timelines. For example, Jira for task management and sprint planning, which helps in tracking the progress and prioritizing the work items. Next we have all over here is code. Developers write code in small, manageable chunks to ensure that integration is simpler and more frequent. For example, we are using GitHub, a version control system where developers can collaborate to track changes and revert to previous states if necessary. The third one is build. The build phase involves transforming code written by developers into a runnable instance of the application. For example, Gradle or Maven, which can compile code and manage the dependencies. The fourth one is testing phase. Automated tests are run to ensure the application behaves as expected. For example, Selenium for automated web testing and ensuring that user experience is consistent across different devices and browsers. Next one we have is release. So guys, the release phase involves activities related to deploying the software to production, ensuring that the software is released in a controlled manner. For example, Docker, which can package the application and its environment into a container that can be deployed consistently in any environment. The next phase is deploying. The actual deployment of the application to a production environment where it can be accessed by the users. For example, we use tools like Kubernetes, which automates the deployment, scaling, and management of the containerized applications. Seventh one is operate. Ongoing maintenance and regular updates of the application are happening at this stage. For example, we have Ansible for configuration management, ensuring that all systems are consistent and maintained in the desired state. And finally, it's monitoring. Continuous monitoring of the application to ensure it performs optimally and to detect and resolve issues as they arise. For example, we have Prometheus for monitoring application performance and Grafana for visualizing the data collected. So these were some of the phases of DevOps. So guys, in the interviews, someone can ask it. So just keep a thorough note of this. Now let us move on ahead and understand DevOps tools and their capabilities. For example, we have the version control system. Version control systems like Git allow the teams to track changes and revert to previous version of their work and manage code with a minimal conflict between the concurrent efforts. For example, we have the tool like Git, which allows to do version control system. Next, we have CI/CD tools. So guys, we have CI/CD tools like Jenkins, CircleI, GitHub Actions, which automate the stages of CI and CD, facilitating the frequent and reliable code changes by automatically compiling, testing, and deploying the code. Then we have the configuration management, where we have tools like Puppet, Chef, and Ansible, which automate the provisioning and management of your computing infrastructure and application. They ensure environments are set up consistently and are repeatable. Moving ahead, we have monitoring and logging. So guys, tools like Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, and also Splunk collect, analyze, and visualize machine-generated data to provide insights into application performance and health. So guys, these were some of the DevOps tools. And I hope so you have got a brief idea like how they are incorporated in DevOps. Now let's move ahead and do a small hands-on and let us see how can we incorporate these tools into DevOps practices. So guys, let us create a hands-on beginner DevOps tutorial where we are going to set up a basic continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline using GitHub Actions. And in this tutorial, we are going to show you how you can automate the testing and the deployment of a simple Hello World Python application. Now, there are certain prerequisites for this. You need to have a GitHub account and have a little bit basic familiarity with Git and Python. You can access any text editor like VS Code or Sublime Text. Now, let us go on to the step number 1. Let us first create a new repository on GitHub. Okay, so I have logged into my account, okay, and here I'm going to click on the new. So here's our new repository, and our repository name is going to be, let's say, Hello World CI/CD. So Hello World CI/CD is our Git repository. Now make sure that you make it public. Okay, that's very, very important because now initialize a repository with a README file. So here you can add a README file all over here. And also you can set up a description that this is a demo CI/CD project. Okay. Now, since you have done all this thing, just click on create repository. So our new repository is going to be created. Okay. So it says the world is not familiar. Okay. We are going to change the name. Say hello world. Okay. Now let us create the repository. Pretty fine. So you can see our repository is created. Now let us do one thing. Now we are going to set up our local environment. For that, you need to have a git bash in your system. Now let us clone the repository. Okay. So what we are going to do, so let us copy this. Okay. And let us go to our bash. And here, let us first create a directory. So let us create mkdir and let us give a name of CI/CD, or we can say it demo. Okay. Then let's move to that directory. Pretty good. Now in this, I want to clone it up. So for cloning, you need to do just add git clone, okay, and add the given link. Pretty fine. Now just click on into it and you can see it has started cloning the given directory. Now let us move to this directory, which is hello world. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this and say cd. Let's paste this. Okay. Now you can see we are in our main branch. Now all over here, so as you can see, we have navigated to this directory. This is our main, and cd hello world is our main parent branch. Now after that, what you have to do, let us create a basic Python application. Okay, so I have already created that for you. So you can see there are two files. First one is app.py and second one is test app.py. So this is a hello world CI/CD. Okay, but we need some different directories. So let us open the folder first. Okay, let us see. Okay, we can see demo here. Okay, so you can see we have opened our directory hello world all over here. And here we are going to create a file name app.py inside this repository. So no worries, just click on this folder and click app.py. Okay, and this is our app.py. And inside this, let us write a Python code. So basically, let's create a function, say def hello world. Okay, a function that just prints hello world. And inside this, I want to say let's return hello world. Pretty fine. Now let's move ahead and let us write our function. So this is very basic. So if name, let's say it's equal to, say, main. Okay. And we can print the hello world. So let us call our function hello world. Now we have created a basic app.py file. Now the next thing what we are going to do, we are going to commit. Okay, so let us add this file. So let us open our git bash and say git, okay, and say git add app.py. So this file has been added. And let us commit a message. Okay, so git commit and m, and let us say add hello world. Okay, so this is our message. Now finally moving ahead, what I'm going to do, so you can see committer, my name is given and your name and email address configured automatically based on your username and hostname. So it says, and after doing this, this has been committed. Now let us push this. So git push. So you can see it's easily being pushed up. Now the fourth part is testing. So we are going to create a test file all over here. So basically in this, we are going to do a unit test, and which is going to test the hello world function. So if you are aware of unit testing, it's fine. And if not, you can check on our channel. There are a lot of videos regarding unit testing. It might help you out. So guys, here, let us create this test app.py. Okay. And here I'm just gonna paste this. So it is unit test. You can see I'm importing our application app, and here is hello world is imported from this file, and here the class test app is there, and here basically we are doing a unit test. So in this, I'm asserting that hello world is, whenever we are calling this function, it prints up the hello world. And finally, we are defining our main function. Very easy. And after this, let us add commit to this file. Okay, basically to our repository. So what we are going to do, we are going to add this file in our repo. So let us control, pretty fine. Now let us git add, and we can test app.py. Okay, it says our app file is not named like this. Let me check. So test app.py. Okay, is it inside this directory? Okay, something is wrong. So no worries, I have okay. Now in here, I'm gonna okay guys, so my file was out of the repository, so I included in this. Okay, now let us go to our terminal. Okay, and let us retry to add. Okay, now you can see this would be easily committed now, and after this let us commit it. So git commit m and let's say add test for hello world application. Okay, and let's just click on it, and you can say this is committed, and finally we'll push it up. So you can see it has been easily pushed up onto our repository. Now the step 5 would be creating a GitHub action for CI/CD. So let us navigate to our repository first, and if you refresh this, we could see we have added a readme file app.py, test app.py. Okay, now in this repository we have to navigate to the actions tab and click and create a new workflow. Okay, so here you can see this actions button, just click on this. So in this, let us set up our new workflow. Okay, so basically we are going to create, like, the file would be main.yml, and YML file that you have to put all over here. So let me share you with this. So guys, as you can see, this is our main.yml file. Okay, and the content inside this looks something like this. Okay, so you can see all over here. Now let us try to understand this file. So basically you can see the name of this application is Python application CI/CD. So we have created a workflow file for this. So it says on. So basically on defines the event that is going to trigger the workflow. Then you can see there is push. Basically this workflow will trigger on the push events to the main branch. Then you can see there is a pull request, and the workflow will also trigger on the pull request to the main branch. So basically these triggers are going to ensure that every push and pull request to the main branch initiates the workflow, which is common practice to ensure that the main branch remains stable and deployable. Now you can see all over here, there are jobs. Okay, so like build, YML, copy code, jobs, and these things are there. So basically jobs defines a set of jobs that the workflow will execute. Jobs run in parallel by the default unless it is specified. Now you can see build, this is a single job and it is identified by the key build. It includes several steps that this job will execute. Then you can see runs on. Okay, so this specifies the type of virtual machine to run the job on. So here we can see that here is the machine is Ubuntu latest. It basically indicates the latest Ubuntu runner which is provided by the GitHub action. Then there are steps. So inside the steps you can see we have the uses written actions / checkout at v2 name setup Python, and there are uses action setup Python v2 with Python version 3.8. Now here you are going to install the dependencies, then you are going to run, and finally we are installing Python m pip install upgrade pip. So basically steps, what does it means? It's a sequence of tasks that will be executed as a part of the job. Okay, in the uses action / checkout at the rate v2, basically this step uses the checkout action to check out the repository code so that the workflow can access it. Okay, then we are setting up Python 3.8 and it uses the action setup at the rate Python version v2. Basically it is initializing the setup Python action to set up a Python environment with specified parameters to pass the action, such as the version is 3.8. So this overall sets up the Python version 3.8. Then we are installing the dependencies. So there is a run command So basically, it executes a command using the shell in the runner environment. And this script updates the pip and install the unit test module, although which is typically unit test is a part of Python standard library, and it does not require installation via pip. Okay, that's one additional thing I want you to know. And finally, we are testing our application with the unit test. Okay, so this step runs the Python's unit test module in the discovery mode to find and run the test. Then there are vflag, which is for the verbose output, and which is going to display all the tests being run on their results. So this configuration ensures that every change that we are pushing to the main branch or made in a pull request is automatically tested, and it is maintaining the code's integrity and functionality. The CI/CD pipeline helps automate the testing and the deployment. It is very essential practice for efficient and reliable software development, and which is generally followed in the industry. So I hope so you have got a brief idea regarding this. Now we have completed our setup. So what's the next thing we have to do? So we have to go all over here and just click on commit changes. So it says create via main.yml, and we can see that we have created this. So guys, as you can see in this main.yml, you can see we have created our workflow all over here, and we have created our CI/CD pipeline using the GitHub Actions for the simple Python application. This pipeline automatically runs your test every time the changes are pushed to your repository, demonstrating a foundational DevOps practice. This fundamental step towards more complex DevOps processes involves larger applications and more integrated testing and deployment environments. So guys, this was a basic CI/CD setup. I hope so you have got a brief idea regarding this. If not, you can comment on this and our team of experts are going to reach out to you. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope so you have enjoyed our today's tutorial on DevOps.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.